Hello and welcome to our channel. We'll share some powerful and motivating quotes from Benedict Cumberbatch in this video that are guaranteed to inspire you. These motivational quotations can inspire you to be your best self, from overcoming hardship to chasing your aspirations. Let's get started. I grew raised in a privileged environment. You have worth that you don't personally recognize. I've always desired children, which may be due to the fact that I was an only child. It's embarrassingly tacky when people ask if I'm Sherlock Holmes, but I always respond, I'm not. I just look a little like him, since that's how I really feel. One time, someone who was renting an apartment next to my house live tweeted me, "Every job is quite unique, which I enjoy since you learn new skill sets and experiences." Do I like being seen as attractive? There isn't a person on earth I know who doesn't, but I do think it's humorous. It's exciting to go outside of your comfort zone. I carry a lot of unnecessary baggage around with me. As I lack social confidence, it will be challenging for me to just say hello to someone at a pub since they won't know who I really am. Isn't mystique uncommon these days? In today's environment, enigmas aren't all that common. You may go insane if you are too concerned with perception and attempting to live up to everyone's expectations. I wanted to shake things up. That was so much fun to shoot, which is why it's so satisfying when something you like gets well liked. In one tale, a guy creates another man in his own image. It's humorous and enjoyable, but it also exudes maturity, which, in my opinion, is what gives it such a broad appeal. I was ecstatic with how well liked the first season of Sherlock was. In the Second World War, my own grandfather served as a tank operator and a submarine captain, respectively. Once you are known, there is nowhere left for you to look. It would be extremely wonderful to wake up and say, let's put this on for a day and see how it feels. And to look like Jake Gyllenhaal. My parents had put forth a lot of effort to pay for my schooling. The central theme of Frankenstein was the notion that, by harnessing electricity and eradicating the night, man created light and darkness, assuming godlike abilities that we subsequently exploited while being merely mortals. I'm not devoted to any one genre. You may witness any one of the roughly 3 Hamlets that are performed each year out of the vast array of roles that performers in our society play. No matter how far from your idea of humanity the character's behavior may be, I believe there comes a moment when you begin to relate. Being an actor is one of the finest jobs in the world since it is a meritocracy. They will only recognize me as the fictitious character I portray on film. I try not to repeat myself since you are often requested to perform the thing for which you have lately gained notoriety. Even though I wasn't intending to make it my professional specialty, I soon realized that I was playing somewhat psychopathic, asexual intellectuals. I like portraying individuals in my impersonations, the natural sequence being reversed. It is the college of life. Anything I say will always offend someone. I removed my shirt, walked to the window, and then put it back on. My hair follicles are quite delicate. It's incredibly hard to memorize lines. The majority of Sherlock fans are clever people, so they have read through my past work and understand what I've done, why I've done it, and how I've done it. Actually, he was tweeting about what I was doing. While there is some compulsive behavior, I am more concerned about them than for myself. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Mother performed a lot of farces and commercial theater to ensure that the school's expenses were covered. Do honors alter careers? I haven't come across many tales where such is the case. However, I've been a bit of a late bloomer when it comes to fashion, but I've just realized that it's one of life's pleasures. High class, to me, implies that you are either born wealthy or a member of the royal family. It's tempting to examine a businessman's left hand to check whether a missing wedding band has left an impression. You can't tell where a good horseman is getting his instructions until you see one. Since I was 12, I've been broody, but I can't simply randomly impregnate people. It truly bothers me how many individuals my age, or even younger, a whole generation younger, are passionately intelligent, overeducated, underemployed, politicized, and aimless. When you learn that people would wait for hours to see you perform scenarios outdoors, things start to seem odd. I had the luxury of being able to choose to be anything other than an actor, or at least having the chance to try. Fame is a strange thing. One of the exciting, thrilling, and nerve-wracking facts of acting is that it's not anything to be very apprehensive about. And my apartment has blinds. I haven't performed anything, much alone 2 consecutive period dramas. Being a privileged actress in England makes it impossible to avoid classism. No matter how you look at it, no matter how talented or valuable you are, a lot depends on luck. I ride a motorcycle, so there's always a fragrance of death around the corner, particularly in London. That was a very common route. Because of how routine our everyday lives are, we often fail to look beyond the immediate surroundings. I'm really scarred by performing. You cannot observe it all when riding a night bus. The harder it is, the more away from yourself you become. Star Trek burns more slowly when you're a child. The greatest acting challenge is playing a spy. Therefore, I've always wanted to do that. I find human hands fascinating, have an unconventional existence. I definitely don't share some of his negative traits. Nothing is predetermined by a plan, and you have no influence over it, thus it's challenging. While I enjoyed being an only child, I have always yearned to be a member of a larger family. I support providing youngsters with an education, a voice, and the opportunity to avoid choosing the wrong path because I am a Prince of Wales Trust ambassador. I'm terrified of discussing school. I now understand that in order to successfully interact with children, you must be in the proper setting and with the right person. While they are not on the same magnitude as the First World War, the conflicts we are now engaged in have equally sad consequences for our men and their families. In a Judd Apatow comedy, I want to be allowed to portray beat people who live in trailers. You must keep your distance from them. Someone will always be spewing blood over my bad acting, wooden face, and toffee names. It's nothing more than a pleasant excuse to socialize with co-workers and honor those who, in some people's perspective, performed well that year. It must be the proper individual. Don't we all desire to get out of our situations? In particular, if you're an actor. I would be on my knees pleading for mercy if you pulled the wrong way on the hair on my head. There's no chance of success. I did a lot of acting in high school and college before enrolling in theater school. I like theater, and as an actor you learn and appreciate it too much to not want to go back again. I won't stop doing Sherlock. It's something I'll always do. Appreciate life's journey rather than focusing just on the outcome. Lack of observational time is one of the worries associated with having too much work. Nothing about you is as it seems. Or maybe there is a tan line and pressed down flesh where he removed a ring off his finger. It's terrible to spend your teenage years at an all-male boarding school. Like telepathy, really, that devastates the soul. Any kind of privacy in public is difficult to manage.